Hi friends, after understanding the structure of the Python language, now let us take up our first training session in our Python Feel Good web series. In this first training session, I am going to explain 5 core programming concepts. This knowledge is very essential before entering into programming studies. This is an essential prerequisite. According to my knowledge, majority students do not like to study basics because they feel the knowledge of basics quite abstract, because without application they have to study, or whatever may be the reason, majority students do not like to study basics. But if you ignore basics, then you have to pay price. You never achieve command over the subject. That point, not only for programming studies, for any studies, if you ignore basics, you have to pay price. You never achieve command over that, because every time you get doubts, you are purchasing your headache. Continuously, if you are encountering doubts and all that, obviously you lose interest in the subject. That's why here I don't want to dump many basic concepts like in formal study. I have chosen only 5 programming concepts, and these are very essential, very fundamental for entering into programming studies. The first one is understanding computer program practically. Actually, if I have to explain what is a computer program, means within 2 lines I can explain a definition. That is not good. A computer program is a set of instructions which act upon set of data in order to achieve predefined task, and which is executed on a computer. If I explain like that, there is no use at all. Actually, you have to understand it practically and own it. For that purpose, from real life angle, I explain what is computer program. That knowledge is very essential, because by writing computer programs only you will evolve as a programmer. That's why you must have 100% clear understanding over what is computer program, and you should own the concept. Second one is understanding function oriented programming paradigm. This is simply called as FOP paradigm. FOP paradigm. Paradigm means, first you understand what is paradigm. Paradigm means an implementation model. For example, you want to reach a destination. For reaching a destination, you can have alternative implementation models. You go by walk, you use cycle, you may use bike, you may use car, or you may go by bus. That is implementation model. In the same manner, in programming also, there are different implementation models. Task may be same. It can be implemented in different models. For that purpose, procedural programming paradigm, function oriented programming paradigm, object oriented programming paradigm, like paradigms are there. You must understand them thoroughly and own them. So here, as a second concept, I am going to explain about the FOP paradigm from real life. That's why I don't expect any knowledge from you. If you are a true layman also, if you do not know uh, any programming knowledge, you can understand this concept. Not only understanding concept, you can own it. Thereafter, anybody asks you, you can explain that in such a manner. From real life angle, I am going to explain. Thereafter, IPO. Third one is understanding IPO, input, process, and output. And any system in the world, the real world you take, they mainly perform 3 activities. One is input, second one is process, third one is output. Just for example, you take a neighboring flour mill. A flour mill you take, in that you put grain, that is input. Within that, one grinder is there, it processes it, it grinds it, and you get the flour, that is output. So IPO. In the same manner, any system you take, it takes some input, it processes it, and delivers the output. You take your brain. Brain also, you pose a question to your brain, it processes it, and it gives the answer. So IPO, understanding IPO activity is very important. That's the most basic concept that you have to understand in third concept. Fourth one is data types and variables. Actually, whoever enters into programming studies, regardless of the language, the first and foremost important concept is data types and variables. Actually, according to me, 95% of the students do not have 100% knowledge over this, and without knowing that only, these are the most fundamental concepts. Without using data types and variables, they never write any program. But unfortunately, they do not have the knowledge of that. Without that only, they are proceeding. That's why out of 5, one of the concept, data types and variables, I explain it from a real life angle. Within 10 minutes, you can understand these concepts and own them. Thereafter, 5 basic operations performed by a program. Actually, in third concept, I talked about IPO, input, process, and output. Every program performs 3 core operations. By that only, it can achieve tasks. But technically, if you analyze that, these 3 operations can be classified into 5 operations, 5 basic operations. Every program perform these 5 operations. That means a program is a big set of statement. Any statement you take in any program, regardless of the language, it can perform one of these 5 operations. So, if you have clear understanding over these 5 concepts, then without having any doubt, you can understand and work out all programs on your own. You never get any doubt. This is prevention is better than cure. Why we should allow to create a doubt? That's why first understand 5 concepts. Matter 1 hour. Just 1 hour watch my lectures. One time watch is enough to own the concept. So thereafter, in the training session 2 itself, you start writing your programs. And at the end of 5th training session, you will develop 10 programs and projects. This is my promise. This is the uniqueness of the system that we have to understand. Part of this introduction only, I would like to draw your attention towards 4 important points. Every software career aspirant must focus on these 4 important points, and you must understand the spirit of these 4 points and implement that. And by implementing these 4 points, no doubt you will be evolved as a professional programmer, no doubt about that. The first one is roadmap for securing a bright career. Whether you have watched or not, I don't know. Already in the beginning, I have given a video, a roadmap to secure a bright software career. That is 40 minutes video. You may feel it is lengthy because I have incorporated my 20 years of experience within the 40 minutes of video. By just one time watch of that video, you can understand our system and strategy. Not only our system, right strategy, and you can make out a right action plan for implementation of that. So those are very important. And if you are a true software career aspirant and all that, don't be lazy and watch the roadmap video for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. By that, you can have a clear picture. One thing I am telling you, if you want to construct a building, what to do? What is the first act? You prepare a blueprint. Without having blueprint, you never try to construct a building. In the same way, if you want to construct your career, this is very important, then you must have a clear roadmap that I am providing to you by incorporating my 20 years of experience and sharing with you. So I am leaving it to your choice. If you are ambitious, you watch that video, then only come to this. Second one, enriching common sense. In that video, I told you one thing. If you want to evolve as a programmer, you must have 3 C's, 3 attributes. The first one is computer, second one common sense, third one is commitment. Without computer, commitment, and common sense, never evolve as a professional programmer. That point you have to understand. Here, many people do not know how to enrich common sense. Actually, part of my training session, I will explain to you how to enrich our common sense. Actually, here I am going to explain 5 concepts, 5 programming concepts in the training session. If you have the perfect knowledge over the 5 concepts and all that, for programming studies, whatever common sense you require, all that you can acquire. In English, one quotation is there. 1 unit of learning requires 10 units of common sense to apply that. That means if you don't have common sense, You mechanically do something and all that, but you cannot do it proficiently. That's why 1 unit of learning requires 10 units of common sense to apply that point. You have to understand that, and every situation, every possible situation, I will explain to you how to improve your common sense. I am not talking about intelligence. I am not intelligent at all, but I have ample common sense. That point you have to understand. Third one, the most important one, owning the concepts. Owning the concept, some people use this word, but you may not know the real meaning. Owning the concept means ask you one question. What you did yesterday? What you did yesterday means you are able to explain fluently what you did yesterday. For that, no notes is required. Notes is required, but you are able to explain it fluently, step by step, because that is your experience that was registered in your brain. In the same manner, you should own the concepts. How to own the concepts? I give you a simple tip. Now, hereafter, whatever may be your past and all that, I don't want to question because it cannot be changed. Now, today is the day in your hand, a bird in hand. Okay, after studying every concept, after doing every program, after studying every concept, you question yourself, can I explain this concept to somebody? Just simple question that your brain tells you whether you can explain or not. If it says yes, proceed to the next. If it says no, one more time you watch until you want that. Simple thing. You explain. You need not explain in a classroom. You call your friend and explain to him. He will be happy. Both will get benefit. Otherwise, any of your juniors are there. You explain to them. They will be very, very loyal to you. They give a lot of respect to you because they give respect to teachers who is having knowledge. Understand? So simply teacher they may not give respect, but if they have ample knowledge, they give respect. Take it as an opportunity. Own the concept where possible environment is there, then you explain that. Whenever you own that, then only you can do that. And the fourth one, customize the time frame. This is very important actually for every programmer. Actually, in my view, to master any language, 2 to 3 months, maximum 100 days are enough. Master, I am not talking about writing some exam and all that. Mastering a language using international standards, 100 days time is maximum. But for that purpose, you have to make out your customized plan because everybody is having their own strengths and limitations, mainly time limitations. That's why you have to make out your time frame within the time bound only. You have to complete that. You have to complete your customized time plan, and for that purpose, regularly you should work. Today you may work for 1 hour, tomorrow you may work for 5 hours, weekend you may work for 8 hours. That is different. But regularly you have to work on programming. Then you develop a passion towards that. Once you develop a passion towards that, obviously you get time. Understand? Where you enjoy, there you never get tired. Automatically you get time. And these are the four important points. Few more points are there. Contextually I'll explain. But if you are a true software career aspirant, regardless of your study, if you are studying first year, final year, or a layman or anything, I don't bother. And if you are aspiring a software career, these 4 points you understand and understand the spirit of them and implement in your life.